Yeah.
based off I've gave you this time. Because it's like, hey, if you tell anybody, hey, by Friday, night is Yankee, by Friday, hey, I need everybody to sign this hand receipt. And then you come to me on Friday, hey, everybody to sign the hand receipt. Well, why not? I don't know first. Why didn't you come to me on Thursday telling me they didn't sign the hand receipt? I'm upset with you now because you went to the last minute to tell me
Yeah.
what I asked to get done or the command I asked to get done didn't happen. But if you told me on Thursday, I don't care about your rank. Hey, go do this. Well, I got this going on. Hey, God, listen. They will be here at 6:30 and they will be here at 1700. You trying to tell me from 6:30 in the morning? If you need to make accommodations, I'm pretty sure anybody can make accommodations. All you do is sign your name. If not, guess what? Don't even worry about it. The regulation says it's yours. You have 30 days, it's yours. I don't care if it's all missing. Then I go pillage your stuff, and now you're missing all kinds of shit. But that's just me. I know how it works. But racism, it's worse at the top than it is at the bottom.
I
Because
believe.
you got to think. You coming in the army, you got people from all areas. You got, like you said, you got people from every different spot of the world joining the army. So E1 to E4, 19 to 22, you get it. You really don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
My second day basic training, guy asked me, hey, he was from South Dakota, North Dakota, he said, can I touch your skin? I was like, why? Because my mama told you to touch a black person, it'll rub off. First of all, you put your hands up when people have problems. But,
What?
but he didn't know no better. That's where he was from. He didn't know no better. So I went with it. But at the same time, as you get older, they know better. So you can't expect no 30 or 40-year-old person to be like, hey, let me touch your skin because I heard if I touch you, I can turn. No, it's different. But
Let
you
me
got the good
touch
old
your.
boy. Yeah, his mama told him if you touch a black person, it'll rub off. But I mean, he was for real. He was like, I've never seen a black person. But after we had that conversation, me and him was good. We was cool through basic training. But some people just don't know because if you go to your Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota person, Idaho, up north, they might not have seen black people
Yeah.
because you got more Native Americans up there.
Yeah.
And that was the problem. But like you said, racism at the E1 to E4, maybe the sergeant, because you got your 19 to 22-year-old, it ain't that bad. But once you
Yeah.
hit that staff sergeant and above, it's just me. They feel they can say more and get away with more because, oh, now I got a rank. Now I can say what I want to say.
Yeah.
I can go to whoever and rub on their back or, send them this inappropriate text because they're E4 below and they ain't going to say that because they don't know how to really handle it. They don't know which way to go. But at the same, racism at your seniors is way worse than your juniors.
Yeah.
And believe me, you be like, and that was another reason I got out because I was in the battalion commanding staff at Fort Campbell. And I had to tell the battalion commanders, like, hey, bro, either me and you going to have a problem. Matter of fact, you know what? I walked out of there, walked behavior health. I said, if you say one word to me, me and him have a problem. And I'm telling y'all right now, it's not going to be a pretty problem. I have nothing with this man. I ain't done nothing to him. But at the same time, you ain't going to talk to me crazy. I'm a grown man. I got my own kids to deal with.
Yeah.
And if this what you want to do, trust me, we can go there. And who I call, you ain't gonna call. And that's the thing about it. So racism on the senior side of the Army, can't speak to other branches of the Army, your logistical quartermaster side is a lot worse than your lower soldiers. Because your lower soldiers, they gonna talk. And the other thing about it now is everything on Instagram and Snapchat and every other dimension you could think of.
Yeah.
So people know way more about you than you probably want them to know about you.
True.
So they already know if you're racist. They already know if you are whatever whatever fan you are, whether you're Republican, Democrat. They know everything about you already. And that's another thing. You get to politics. Oh, why you didn't vote for this person? Why? Who cares who you voted for? I just need you to come to work at 6:30
Yeah.
and do PT. At
That's
8
it.
o'clock, go home. At 9:30, come back and do your job. That's all I want you to do. I don't care if you black, white, Hispanic, whatever your ethnic background is. And
Yeah.
yes, as a first sergeant, I did talk to some Hispanic soldiers before and told them, it's like, hey, I understand you speak Spanish. But we was at the beginning, we was at our career at the where everybody come in at replacement center. I said, I have no problems with you speaking Spanish. But try to keep all your conversations in English as much as possible. So if somebody else has that question, they already know how to answer that question. Now, if the other person don't speak English that well, I'm good with that. But try to speak as much English as you can because you never know if that E1 straight out base train AIT had that question, but he or she's scared to ask that question because of your rank.
Yeah.
Because all they seen was a drill sergeant or staff sergeant yelling at them the whole time, and they don't know how to handle that. So that was like probably my most line I crossed with the racism. Speak as much English as you can, because per the Army regulation, English is the duty language.
Right.
So from when you at work, speak English.
Yeah.
When you get off work, I don't care what you speak. You can speak whatever language you want, but while you're at work, speak as much English as possible. So if somebody, you don't get the impression that nobody's talking about you, because if you walk by and they start laughing, they speaking in Spanish and looking at you, first thing you think is they talking about you.
Right.
But they ain't got nothing to do with you. They just talking their normal language. That's all. You just have to walk by and, like they said, you have to be the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't care if I tell everybody to shut up. I'm doing with my job. You came to my office. You came to Courtney's office doing. She handling business. You came in here talking loud. So don't be mad because I told everybody to be quiet, because I'm trying to handle my job. You can talk all you want outside.
Makes sense. Tori. This guy.
Tori on the train still.
No, I just got off. Yeah. Here, man.
So.
All right. So look, I can say I ain't really experienced a lot of racism. Now the good old boy club though, whoo, that was heavy. I got my own personal stories about that. About okay, let's say I was a young sergeant, top recruiter in the battalion. I'm out in Los Angeles. I'm dropping 6+ a month when my number was only 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Right. I'm at the MEPS. I'm testing the Alpha. I park in the MEPS parking lot. At the time, we had paperwork that say we can keep our laptops and stuff under 2 locks for no longer than 10 minutes. So at that time, I kept it. I go in MEPS, put my laptop in the trunk. It's in the case and it's in the trunk, right? Go in the MEPS. I'm in the MEPS for 7 minutes. It's all on camera. Somebody breaks in my car in the MEPS parking lot and steal my laptop. So me being a '92 Yankee, right? I contact the police. They come out do their report. I talk to first sergeant. They'll let first sergeant know what's aware. I talk to the commander. Let the commander know what's aware. I tell them, hey, don't worry about it. I said, look, I'll go ahead and I'll do the 362 right now.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll go ahead, I'll pay for it, even though it's been stolen. We don't need to do a flipper. I'll take care of it. It's whatever, sir. I said, I'm just ready to go ahead and get my applicant in, all that, right? Now, mind you, about 2 months before that, we had a sergeant first class, which is part of the Good Old Boys Club. Now, our whole chain of command was Puerto Rican.
Oh, damn.
Right? So this sergeant first class was also Puerto Rican. He took his government car home. Wasn't supposed to do that. It got stolen from his house. Right? They swept it under the rug. Like nothing never happened. The whole car. We was in LA and everything at that time, right?
Yeah.
So they swept that under the rug. So I'm already knowing, shit, I got a little laptop. I know I already did the groundwork. I know I got the reports. I got the 362 ready. I'm ready to do the depreciation. It's too easy. I'll pay this out my next check, baby, because I'm getting bonuses because I'm clear. I'm killing it out here.
Yeah.
Commanders say, well, because I'm a major, this is a field grade Article 15. I said, huh? I was like, wait, what? He said, oh, don't worry about it. You just stay out of trouble and we'll do a 6-month suspended, 180 suspended bus. I said, out of trouble, sir? I was never in trouble. Right? So I'm sitting there, and at that time, I've never had a field grade. Now I did get some Article 15s as a private, some 7 to 7, 14 to 14. I did that. I even did a 45. I was wilding.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
Well, we're going to get on that.
You was a good soldier.
Oh no, those are the best soldiers because we done been there. Right? Yeah. So he say it's going to be a field grade. And I was like, wait. So I started doing my research. He was like, oh, but you don't have to worry about it because as long as you stay out of trouble, keep doing what you're doing, 180 days, that comes off, it's nothing. I'm like, well, why am I getting in trouble for this shit when Sergeant First Class over here got a whole car stolen?
Yeah.
Right? I said, all mine is on camera. I got the paperwork to show 10 minutes. I was in there for 7. They say, well, a new policy came out that said we can't put it in at all. I said, well, let me talk to Jag. And Jag said, well, it's up to your commanders, command discretion if you want to enforce the new policy that hasn't been released yet.
Right.
I said, well, shit, sir, I'm your number one damn recruiter. He said, well, you know, we got to make an example. A fucking example. So now I'm sitting there with my station commander. And he said, example. I went back to Compton for a minute. Right. I was like, a fucking example, sir.
Yeah.
I am your fucking example.
Right.
I'm your number one fucking recruiter. I thought, what you mean you got to make an example? Well, it's just 180 days. Just stay out of trouble. I never was in fucking trouble. Right. So he says, I blow all off my station commander, told me, just leave it alone, go outside. So for the next less than 6 months or whatever, I didn't know the 180 meant that's no favorable actions, no recognitions, no nothing, right?
Right.
I didn't know that. I never been there. So during this time, I'm watching everybody in my station get their gold badge. And I'm looking, and I'm like, well, shit, I just put 4 people in last month when I only had to put 1. I said, Sergeant BB over here, no name, sorry. I said, this dude can't even talk on the phone or in front of people. I gave him 4 contracts.
Jeez.
So I thought I need to talk to HR. I need to know what's going on.
Right.
They said, oh, well, yeah, because you got this flag, you can't receive rewards. Nope. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, I talked to my station commander. I said, well, look here, Sergeant, I will not be putting anybody else in the army while I'm on this shit. He said, you're not gonna what? I said, look, I'm still gonna help my team. I still do my calls. I still go to schools. I still get contracts. I'm just gonna pass them off. There's no reason for me to put them in. I'm not even getting credit for it. So just so happened that the battalion sergeant major comes in that on one of those days, and he's talking. You know, he's sitting on little Puerto Rican guy, sitting on the table, and he's like, you know, I want to go around the table and see if anybody got anything to say. Everybody in the station look at me like, oh shit, like he gonna say something, right? Yeah. So Sergeant Major say, Sergeant Crawford, you got something to say? I said, well, yes, Sergeant Major, I do. He said, well, what's going on with you? I see you ain't put nobody in the last month or 2, and that's not like you. I say, Sergeant Major, are you aware of the situation that's currently going on with me? Sergeant Major say, oh yeah, I'm aware. You know, I'm aware. I said, well, Sergeant Major, that's kind of why I ain't putting nobody in. I said, I'm still helping my battle. I'm still making sure the station makes the mission.
Right.
I'm just not a part of it as far as numbers. He said, well, what you doing that for? You need to put people in. I said, negative, Sergeant Major, I will not. I said, my goal is to get where you at. And you did that by doing your job, getting awards, getting recognition. He said, no, it ain't even about all that. I said, not for you anymore, but it's about that for me as this young sergeant.
Yeah.
And he said, well, if you don't want to work, then we'll stick you up in battalion and you ain't got to recruit no more. I said, okay, Sergeant Major, if that's what you need to do, here's my laptop. Here's my keys. I'll head over to battalion. So now, sorry, everybody's heated, right? Because now for the next 3 months, the station don't make their mission. And everybody's heated.
Yeah.
So then when it comes time to me get off of my suspended bus, they send me to the MEPS to work. I'm no longer recruiting. But they don't have a reason for not having me recruit.
Yeah.
So my NCOER is the same for I got 2 NCOERs during that time frame, and they both were just basic.
Yeah.
Like the same exact, they identical. I didn't know to say anything about it because they had no reason on why they was doing it.
Yeah.
They didn't have, so they just put it basic. You know, you're a 3 over 3. You basic.
Yeah.
You know, and from that point on, I was like, you know what? I wanted to convert. I was gonna be a permanent recruit. I love this shit. I'm talking to people. Yeah. I'm in the city. I'm out here doing my job and loving it because I'm helping people. And y'all just took that whole joy away from me because I wasn't part of that club.
Damn.
I wasn't part of the club.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of my instances with the good old boy club right there.
I came up in I had an attitude for the most part of my career. I had an attitude where I didn't want to play the game. I definitely wasn't kissing nobody's ass. I was angry. Like, I wanted to fight. Like, I ain't got nothing to talk about. You want to fight or you don't. Like, you don't just slide because if you, whatever. But I want to talk about I want to talk about the initial years, like the first 3 years you was it being a freshman in college? And I want to start with Sade. Like, how was that experience? Like, you was just wilding out. Like, for me, I'm gonna just say it. That first 2 years, it was a blur, like Courtney said, because Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we was drunk. We was drunk. Matter of fact, we was doing
Wednesday.
Yeah, we doing the 4-mile runs drunk. So let's talk about that beginning. The beginning first 3 years, like how was that? Did it feel like college? What college would be like?
I guess so, because you gotta think I went in right out of high school. It was my first adult experience. So basic training, we're all, disciplined, all that different stuff. AIT though. Well, we got our passes up. I believe we were all at Fort Lee. Yes, all of us, Fort Lee. Well, not necessarily drinking. The NCO club, our little fake beers.
The Hojo, you went to the Hojo?
I kick it, go to the mall and everything. Okay. What?
Oh, I said y'all went to the Hojo, Howard Johnson?
Hear
you. Definitely was at the Howard Johnson. Howard Johnson in, is it Petersburg or in Chesterfield?
I think it was in Chesterfield.
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't do those type of things in AIT. I was a good soldier.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Am I still here?
Yeah.
My computer. Hello?
I can see you.
We can see you, barely hear you. I definitely was not a good soldier.
Oh.
You got that T-Maybe signal.
Excuse me. You got a Boost mobile phone?
Disrespect. Hey, Courtney. So let's talk to Courtney real quick. Right, Sade.